Guys, I'm in trouble. Summer's almost over and I have not experienced my true summer as a goth yet. I didn't go to a single silent rave in a graveyard and spend the night in a tomb with a guy wearing more makeup than Pennywise himself. What have I been doing? Why did I even get this bracelet? My summer as a goth. Where to begin? This is like if 2010's emo Tumblr was a Hallmark movie. This is like if you took the most narcissistic kid from theater camp and took him to Hot Topic and then made a Hallmark movie. This is like that girl in middle school with daddy issues who listened to My Chemical Romance one too many times and then it suddenly became her whole personality. And then he made a Hallmark movie. My Summer as a Goth came out in 2018 and I can barely find any information on it beyond Reddit, some articles reviewing it, and oddly enough, this movie still has its own website up with a bunch of teeny tiny little awards. It's so little. I actually at first was like, are these just fake awards? Until I actually opened them in a new tab. I realized, okay, these are real, so let's pull them up. All right, we've got a bunch of official selections. Who is the official making those selections and where can I meet them so I can shake their hand and thank them profusely? Because this is sublime cinema. I'm not even kidding. I do think it's a bad movie on some levels, but also so entertaining. So if you think I'm gonna hate on this movie, I am a little bit, but also I do think it's simply art. And we're just gonna get started. Now, Joey is 16 years old. Her dad just died, RIP. And she's your typical artsy teenager. She loves to draw. She's very reserved, artsy, awkward. She's trying to figure herself out. You know, this bitch is on Tumblr every day though. Her mom is a famous author who's about to go on a tour for a while, and she's just one of those moms who I guess can't even be bothered to remember to feed her child after school.
Dinner, right. Pizza? Again.
Whereas Joey is your typical teenager who probably screams, "No one understands me!" into her pillow and listens to Panic at the Disco while making dark, edgy drawings. Now, I will say that I probably hate this character a little bit because I was her. That was literally me at 16. Probably just as bad in every possible way. And by that I mean someone who really lives in their own world and thinks that she's above people because she's dark and artsy and mysterious. But really, bitch, you're just kind of lonely and you need to get out of your shell a bit more and realize that the world isn't that bad of a place. Me talking to 16-year-old me. Anyways, so mom is like, bye Joey, and drops her off at Joey's grandparents' place in another state for the whole summer while she goes on tour. Sure. Take the shy 16-year-old girl who just lost her dad and leave her all summer to kiki with Nana and Papa far away from her only friends in actual life. That'll make her like you more. So Joey is out and about with Mimi and Moo, and that's when she meets Victor. Okay, first of all, how does all that makeup stay on when you're outside in the summer heat? But Joey is like so smitten. Then that night, Maha and Hiha decide that they're going for a bridge night at Victor's grandparents' house down the street. Now, while Rama and Rickshaw leave Joey, she decides to go on a little bike ride to explore the neighborhood. But then she notices Victor in the window, attempting to do something that I can't say on YouTube. But Joey gets all freaked out. She's slamming on the door. Oh no, she cares about him so much. She's running into the house, but no, he was just in the window doing some performance art. I don't even know what to say. But then he goes back with her to her place and they hang out, have a little bonding time, smoke some weed together. And then he says the most cringy line. And it makes me want to spray him with the hose like a dog that just got sprayed by a skunk and be like, no, no.
Should we eat some more?
I'm thinking yes.
Great. Did I scare you?
Like, ew. No. And then, because Joey was just so obviously turned on by that juicy, juicy line, he gives her a little kiss. Ick. I get such an ick from him. Like, if that's what they were going for, I mean, kudos. You gave me such a visceral fucking reaction from that man. So the next day, Joey and Victor hang out again and they take some extra money that Mushu and Hulu gave her to go shopping spree and to suddenly completely change her look. I mean, come on, nothing says you've met the right man more than him immediately wanting to change everything about you, using your own money, and then says things like this.
I want you to be perfect.
Oh god, he actually gives me such like a physical ick. Then they go to a silent disco at a cemetery. Okay. And this scene just goes on for way too long in my opinion, I have to say. We've got a full 90s music video of them slow motion dancing in a cemetery. I'm tripping balls right now and this needs to stop. Victor tells her she needs to reapply, poodle.
You need to reapply, poodle.
And don't forget this, because it's actually an extremely important plot point that he asks her to reapply so many times throughout the movie. As if we haven't already gotten the gist that he's just an absolute dick at this point. Then this guy Antonio shows up out of nowhere and just threatens to kill them all and bury them.
Hey, you know what would be really convenient? If I just killed all of you and buried you here.
Okay. What? And he delivers this in such a monotone way. But apparently he's a punk, which goes against a goth and is basically the equivalent of vampires and werewolves in Twilight. And they just start to throw down in the cemetery. Victor and Joey spend the night in a tomb together. She gets home late the next morning and worries Whoville and Dudeville. Meanwhile, she also gets grounded for 2 weeks, but then she continues to sneak off with Victor and she explores her goth persona, tries on a bunch of makeup looks, and this is all just kind of going on nonsensically for about 20 more minutes. So I'm gonna skip ahead to the next real conflict.
I gotta take this. I'll be right back. Joey, lipstick.
Victor is hesitant to invite Joey to a party because he says there will be real goths there, and she's not a real goth yet. Turns out this haunted ass party is being hosted by Victor's ex Pandora, whose family owns the biggest morgue in town, because of course. It's pretty clear immediately that Victor and Pandora deserve each other, and they both look like Victorian douchebags. Joey gets drunk with Antonio, for who some reason is at this party. Like, didn't he just crash another party earlier that month or something and threaten to murder them all? Suddenly he's being really nice to her and he's just invited into the home, whatever. So Victor carries her out. He's clearly embarrassed by her and flirting with Pandora on the phone while she's basically passed out in his car. Also, what the fuck is the age range of this party? I have to say, on the way out, who is this woman? Why are we at a party where the ages range from 16 to like 60? What kind of local goth subreddit did all these people meet at? How did this gathering occur? Anyways, nothing much happens for another 10 to 15 minutes. They go on a family camping trip. Victor wants to ditch it to take Joey to a goth rave dressed in a bridal gown for some reason. She sees him flirting with Pandora. Later, she sees him fucking Pandora. And yes, I'm skipping ahead now because, again, this movie gets to a point where it's just the same scene over and over and over and over. But all you have to know is that Victor is a serious dick for like the last 75% of the movie. I was less than halfway through the movie before I literally wanted to punch Victor in his smug-ass pretentious face.
You chose me over them. And I mean, who wouldn't? Just look at me.
So skipping ahead again, Joey is at rock bottom now. Merlin and Mayhem aren't home for some reason. She misses her dad, obviously, so she calls her mom and she's sent a voicemail. Finally, her mom comes home. They have that much needed heart-to-heart, and it's time for G Fuel and GamerSup's 40-year anniversary party. And then Victor shows up with his grandparents because they're friends with them, and he is absolutely eviscerated by Joey's mom, which I loved.
I am a huge fan.
Well, that makes complete sense then.
Well, how's that?
Because my daughter says that my books were written for shallow idiots. My daughter is right more often than I would like to admit. In fact, you know, I think I can do better than shallow idiot. If I were to describe you in one of my novels, I think I'd call you a vainglorious, egomaniacal narcissist. You are but a phase.
Oh, and Victor. Time to reapply.
That's pretty much it. Movie kind of ends there. There's this weird tangent where Antonio and Joey are alone in his tomb near the end of the movie. I don't know why they suddenly became besties after that one party, but Antonio comes out as gay to her. I don't know what the point of his character was. Like, I guess they did have a nice friendship in the end and she just needed someone else to be vulnerable with her, but like, he's barely in the movie. He just appears out of nowhere delivering very monotone threats. Maybe I should kill you guys. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. Like, come on, guy. Overall, though, I know I didn't go into a true deep dive of this movie. To be honest, I don't think anyone would benefit from me walking through the entire movie. I actually would encourage people to watch it. It's completely free online, and it's pretty enjoyable. I know I'm dogging on it, but I mean, also, who the fuck am I, right? And I don't have much more time to be a goth this summer, so I'm going to reapply, and then I'm gonna go wander around a graveyard for a while with my headphones on, hoping to attract a cute, sweaty dickhead boy who looks exactly like goth Victorian Cher. Bye.